Hey everyone, welcome back to Kamps Creative Digest. If you're new here, I'm Camp Woods, writer, self-publishing enthusiast, and your guide through the creative process. In today's video, I'm sharing my full presentation from Nerd Nite titled The Book That Built Me, Self-Publishing as a Journey of Self-Discovery. And if you're not familiar with what Nerd Nite is, it's a live event where community members give fun and engaging talks about topics they're passionate about. Think of it as a mix between TED Talk and a night out with friends. And it's actually hosted in over 100 cities, including Louisville, so I'd encourage you to go ahead and check out to see if your city has one and pop out for yourself. For my talk, I shared my journey of self-publishing my poetry collection, Dismantled Damsel, and I walked the audience through some practical steps for anyone ready to start their own self-publishing journey. And before we jump into it, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who came out to support me. It truly means the world. If you want to keep up with my future live events, speaking engagements, and creative projects, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow along. And if you're interested in booking me for a speaking engagement, you can reach me directly at campwoodsinfo@gmail.com for more information. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the presentation.
Remember the old.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Awesome. I just wanted to test it out a little bit. All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming out to another Nerd Night. My name is Keontae Phelps Woods, otherwise known as Camp Woods, and today I have the pleasure of presenting to you guys the talk titled The Book That Built Me, Self-Publishing as a Journey of Self-Discovery. And tonight, my main objective is to teach you guys about the self-publishing process, inform you about the tools that you can use, and share with you the power of sharing your story. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. All right, so I want to start off by telling you guys about myself and how I began. I have humble beginnings with my love of storytelling, starting back in elementary school when we used to sit in a circle and we would do story time with Judy Blume and Shel Silverstein. I knew that I wanted to do that as well. And it just so happened that my grandmother, grandfather, and mother dabbled in creative writing, and that further encouraged me and motivated me as well. So let's flash forward to high school. That's when I began experimenting with poetry. I learned about the likes of Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, R.H. Sin, and Rupi Kapoor. And they all inspired me to write down my work and publish it as well. I spent my early adulthood learning about self-publishing, the different platforms, tools, and trends in the industry so I could prepare myself to where I am today with my debut poetry collection now available with 2 different editions. I've sold over 50 copies, and I'll be at the Louisville Book Festival in October this year. Thank you guys. And that's just to give you guys a little introduction on the possibilities of what's possible with self-publishing. Now, let's talk about why self-publishing matters, and not just to me, but why it can matter to you as well. First, self-publishing is more than a hustle. It's also about healing. When you tell your story, you're literally taking ownership of your narrative and sharing a story that might have gone untold otherwise. I want you guys to all take a moment, you can close your eyes if you want, to think about the oldest story that you may know. Whether it's Santa, the Tooth Fairy, or that kissing gives you cooties. Take a moment and also think about that in a personal context, like maybe the oldest story that your mom told you, brother told you, dad told you, and how that story impacted your life and how you might have gone on to retell that. That's just a testimony to the power of storytelling and how we go on and how it shapes our lives. Again, when you tell a story, a lesson is learned and it can inspire the future generations. Next, self-publishing matters because storytelling builds community and connection. If you don't believe me, you can look around the room and see how many people showed up tonight to hear me talk. And there's also book swaps, there's libraries, there's different events all geared towards the love of storytelling and literacy. And lastly, self-publishing inspires others to tell their stories, even if it's messy or imperfect. We're all human, we all mess up sometimes, but again, that's part of the journey. And you never know when you're gonna make that light bulb go off for somebody else. So go ahead and share your story. And if you don't believe me yet, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with a statistic. In a recent report, we found the number of self-published titles with ISBNs has risen 7.2% since 2023, since 2022, toppling over 2.6 million, which is a healthy jump that has doubled, has more than doubled in the last decade. So there are people who are self-publishing. You just have to ask yourself, why aren't you? I also have included a few self-publishing success stories because I'm not just here to talk about myself. If you didn't know, you might recognize a few of these titles. I included 50 Shades of Grey, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Milk and Honey, Legally Blonde, and The Martian. All of these have in common that some of them went on to become critically acclaimed, a few of them have become bestsellers, a few of them major movie pictures, but they all started being self-published works. So again, it's just to give you an idea of where you can start and where you can go. I also want to note that self-publishing is just a strategy to begin. It's not where you have to end. Meaning that if you want to go the traditional route of signing a book deal and maybe turning your work into like a movie or something like that, that's perfectly fine. Again, self-publishing is just the start to get your foot in the door. And now we're going to talk about the process. We're going to talk about confidence, how to claim your story, and what that means to you. So I want you guys to keep in mind that writing is an act of bravery. You are the hero saving your idea and allowing it to live. And what that means is that you're the only one who can tell your story and own your narrative. So again, you're the one who's allowing it to live, build your legacy, and allow it to influence generations beyond you. I want to give you guys the advice to overcome self-doubt and imposter syndrome. If you're someone who takes a pen to a page or even types it out in your notes or whatever it may be, and you expand on an original idea, then you are a writer. There's no doubt about it. It's up to you if you want to self-publish or not. Don't worry about page count, book sales, reading list, ranking. All of that will come. Just allow yourself to do the thing that you feel like you've been called to do. And now I want to talk about some tools you can use and that I've taken advantage of on my own self-publishing journey. I definitely recommend taking a picture if you're into self-publishing, writing, anything like that, because it's a very valuable slide. And with that being said, I want to talk about how I use lulu.com to print and bind my books. I actually have some examples. This is the printed copy of my latest edition of Dismantled Damsel. So Lulu does all the printing, binding, and shipping of the work. That's where they come in. So I don't have to like put it together myself. And anybody who orders it, it gets shipped directly to them through Lulu. So they do the printing and the fulfillment for me. There are other programs that do it, like KDP, but I just chose to do Lulu. It's completely up to you, and I encourage you guys all to do your research as well. So when it comes to ISBNs, and that's when it comes to the ownership of your intellectual property, I chose to go through my identifiers. They have the option of buying one ISBN or a bulk, and it's completely up to you depending on the project that you're pursuing. But I definitely encourage you to take that ownership of your work to retain the rights. Next, I want to introduce you guys to Canva and Fiverr, both of which that I use for graphic design and illustration. Both tools are also extremely powerful and do more than what I even use them for. Canva, I used it to formulate and organize my work as well as design each of these book covers. And my work is available on Amazon and lulu.com, so you're more than welcome to check it out to get a more in-depth look. But I used Canva to organize it all. And I used Fiverr to source my first illustrator for the very first collection of Dismantled Damsel. Fiverr is a freelance platform that allows you to connect with other creatives that are looking to get compensated for their work. So it's a really cool platform. And lastly, I use a combination of Instagram, Facebook, Goodreads, and YouTube for my marketing and promotion. And you guys are all welcome to follow me there at Kamps to keep up with my self-publishing journey and support me along the way. Now, let's talk about finding your voice. I want to encourage you guys to discover your authentic tone, rhythm, and perspective. And you can do this by attending local writing classes, going to your local library, doing advanced reader copy swaps. The possibilities are endless, but you do have to use your voice to know what it sounds like. So I encourage you to put yourself out there and get some support. I also want to encourage you guys to let go of perfectionism and comparison. It's completely okay to take your time and figure yourself out. At the end of the day, it's you versus you, not you versus anyone else. The most important part about writing is that it helps you listen to yourself. I said it before, but I'll say it again. You have to use your voice in order to know what it sounds like. And now I want to bring it all together and talk about identity, becoming through creation. And what that means is that publishing is a method of legacy building and self-expression. I did mention it earlier, but when you self-publish, you're literally leaving something behind that future generations can be inspired by. And it's you. You're the only one who can tell your story in the way that you know how to tell it. Publishing also creates a chance for others to be inspired and learn from your work. I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and told me that they want to self-publish just like me. And that's honestly one of the best parts about what I do, just encouraging others to be themselves as well. And self-publishing provides more creativity, opportunities, and accountability. And what I mean by that is that you have the creative freedom to express yourselves in ways just like this, like I'm doing at Nerd Nite. You also have the opportunity to go to book festivals and really just show up for yourself in the way that you want to. You really go after the opportunities that you create for yourself, whether it's doing something like Nerd Nite or going to a book festival, hosting a book swap, doing a poetry reading. Again, the possibilities are endless. And the accountability falls on you. Everyone is self-made, but typically the winners are the only ones who admit it. And what that means is that when you self-publish, you are building your brand and your work. So it's all on you. And before I leave you guys, I want to introduce you to some local opportunities and where you can start if you want to know. Here are some different opportunities that are all local in Louisville that I've also taken advantage of myself. I encourage you guys to start at the Louisville Free Public Library. There are so many different free resources, from maker spaces to books on creative writing, books on self-publishing, author swaps. Again, show up, show out, support. I also encourage you to check out the independent bookstores here. There's Carmichael's bookstore, Butcher Cabin Books. Butcher Cabin Books is more geared towards horror books, but again, they're both independent bookstores and they both have consignment options if you're a local author yourself. There's also the Louisville Book Festival, which I've mentioned a few times today. It's October 11th, so be sure to pop out. It's free, and there will be over 150 authors, speakers, and exhibitors there talking about self-publishing just like I am today. And lastly, there's Nook and Nowhere, which is a new bookstore and book cafe in Louisville as well. They do have an opportunity for local authors to donate their books and sell them there. But mainly it's just a space if you want to meet, generate ideas, or maybe even start your novel there. Again, possibilities are endless, but these are just a few places where you can start. And I want to thank you guys all for listening. Self-publishing begins with you. And if you have a story, now is the time to tell it. There are plenty of resources and outlets to take advantage of throughout your journey. I gave you guys a lot of them tonight. So remember, you can come see me at the Louisville Book Festival in October, and be sure to follow me on social media to keep up with all the updates. It's KAMP'S on everything, and I definitely look forward to seeing you there. So thank you so much for your time. I'm ready for questions.
Everybody can get it one time for Kamps. Questions. Oh, first, can we have some help inside here? We had a party foul. Somebody walked in and just started spilling drinks everywhere. I'm embarrassing whoever that was. My bad. But yes, questions.
It's October 11th.
First question. When is the Louisville Book Festival?
It is October 11th.
And where is the Louisville Book Festival?
It is at the Kentucky International Convention Center.
What is, for everybody, What is the ISBN number that's located on the back of the book that helps you identify the book?
He just answered the question for me, but it's located on the back of the book, and libraries scan it, bookstores scan it. It's how you retain ownership of your work.
Speak up. Any other questions in the crowd? Okay, 2. Is that a question? 3. Perfect. Yes.
What made you decide that putting it on the internet wasn't enough? You wanted it physical.
What made you decide that the e-copy wasn't enough? Why did you need a physical copy?
That's a great question. And I decided I needed a physical copy because tangible material is just better, in my opinion. It's nice to live in the digital age, but isn't it great to hold a book and smell a book and maybe even dog mark your favorite page, you know? I just wanted people to have the experience that I grew up loving.
When you date a book nerd, like my partner was over there, she's a book nerd. She does the same thing, so like I hear that same echoing going, oh yeah, you need a physical copy, blah 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 blah. I ain't a book nerd, but I understand book nerd talk. So like that's why you need a physical copy.
I have Kindle and physical versions of
It's not the same. It has to be, you have to turn the pages.
I've got both the Kindle and the physical.
Look, we gonna talk about this first. Next question. What was the next question? Yes, there you go. How did you market your book?
That's another great question. And really, as a self-published author, it's an everyday process. This is one of the ways that I market my book, by really introducing myself to new people and telling them what I've done. So that's really the main way. And social media as well.
Sorry about that.
I just wanted you to tell us a little bit about your book, even though I've read it.
So we have a fan in the corner
Yes.
that wants to know, for everybody to know, more about the book. Is there any way that you could do that during the break?
During the break?
We'll do a little bit now and then the most during the break.
Yes.
All right, cool. Talk about the book.
Awesome sauce. Okay, so Dismantled Damsel is my debut poetry collection. It's really an exploration of different times in femininity, growing through adolescence, and exploring different mental health challenges. So that's what it's about.
Everybody, one more time for Janelle.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode of Kamps Creative Digest. Bye.